Hey YouTube, how the heck we doing? It's Foul Play here, back again for match number 2 of this Pauper League. Versing Devo here, winning the die roll, having to mull this hand. This one's looking a decent amount better. We throw one Armadillo Cloak and we're good to go. So opponent keeping a 7-card hand, and this could be the Ponza deck. I don't think Elves plays Arbor Elf. So this is slightly annoying. If we go for Abundant Growth, we can run into losing our Abundant Growth as an aura on the field. I guess that's not too bad because we can Ash Barrens and cycle to something else. There's an argument to Ash Barrens this turn, play the Plains, play Ethereal Armor, but then we run into similar mana issues next turn. And it's got to be Resolve Ethereal Armor here first off. So that 1 extra point of damage this turn. Alright, so Forest into Lanois Visionary. And passing back to us. So this could actually be a green Stompy deck as opposed to the other ones I listed earlier, which would have been Elves or Ponza. So smack for 6. I mean, we're in a great spot against Gruul Stompy. Or just mono green Stompy. Alright, so opponent throws down the Abundant Growth, so not exclusively on green here. Although it could just be a cantrip for a mono green deck. And opponent casts out the Jeweled Thief. Alright, so we draw Forest here. We'll kick it off by playing out our Cartouche. Then we'll go and attack for 8. And during our opponent's end step, we can cycle Ash Barrens. They just concede at Cartouche. We're obviously very far ahead regardless. So against mono green deck, there's likely gutshotting their elf could buy good tempo. And also they're possibly playing Fog as a card. So Flaring Pain has some game as well. Cards to be aware of, there is the, I think it's Convoke Convey, tapping 2 green creatures to destroy additional enchantments. So 2 mana sorcery, destroy an enchantment, and Convey for 2 to destroy an additional one, or as many times as you want to do it. I think Ancestral Mask could potentially be trimmed as a 1 or 2. I think I like most of our other auras. Sentinel's Eyes is quite good as well. Possible just to board out Lotus Petal. Let's just go for that. I don't think speed is going to be super critical here, as opposed to card quality. So opponent keeping a 7. We're going to have to mull this one. This is looking better. We will keep... I guess it's Ditch Mask. Our other cards are looking pretty strong. Alright, so we draw Armadillo Cloak. Now our mana's looking a little bit shaky. We get another draw to draw out of it. And actually, I've just realized we don't have access to white mana. So maybe this hand was a bit more questionable than I would have thought initially. So opponent, Abundant Growth into Arbor Elf. And 4 cards in hand currently. They're attacking in for 1. We'll take that. Hopefully we hit mana. Alright, well that's going to be a turn of setup, but at least it's access to mana. Stumbling for 1 turn is a lot better than stumbling for 2. Alright, so opponent reveals a little bit of their antics. They've got white mana here. Avenging Hunter enters the battle, take the initiative. So it's one of these D&D cards. So initially gets basic land, getting an island. Okay. So opponent is doing a bit of funky stuff here. And we break on mana again. Well, we can't really attack into what our opponent is doing currently, so we might as well set up with Utopia Sprawl. With Utopia for white, and next turn hopefully we can chain together 2 auras and start attacking. Alright, so opponent takes the initiative, or continues the initiative, 2 counters on their Avenger Hunter. It's a big fatty. We do have Armadillo Cloak in hand to start clawing back some life. And here comes Muldrifter. I don't mind about that too much. I haven't seen any interaction from my opponent so far. Ephemerate. Okay, so it's possible they're running Dawnbringer Cleric, and that could run us into some issues here. Alright, so big attack for our opponent. We can't really block that. We'll go ahead and let that one go. Looks like by sussing a quick Bant Ephemerate list online, opponent's interaction is Deglamour. So we can cloak attack. It's not great. Buys us 2 life. We go up to 3 life. We go up to 15. Deglamour is also instant speed, so attacking with that just that into a Muldrifter could be questionable. I think we double white here. We'll Ethereal Armor. We'll cycle Ash Barrens, getting a Plains. We'll then Cartouche. And I'm unsure if we want to attack with Scout or not. I think we attack with Scout, chump with Warrior Token. They shouldn't be able to give Trample, I don't think. I don't see anything that gives Trample unless it was here. A target player loses 5 life. Oh, goodness. That's a scary one. Alright, so it looks like there is Deglamour. That's getting shuffled into our library. And we take the initiative. Okay, well, that's something at least. Hey, look, we're making our land drops now. Go team. I think Forest here is fine. So, opponent gets to rebound Ephemerate. No doubtably targeting Muldrifter. Yep. Alright, here come the attacks. Nice, easy chump block for us. 4 cards in hand for opponent. They've buffed up their Forest a credible amount. Opponent takes the initiative back. I think this makes us lose 5 life. So, opponent did actually have lethal if he attacked with the Arbor Elves, and he did miss that. Alright, so opponent plays Goliath Paladin, taking the initiative. So, it allowed them to draw an additional card. And Utopia Sprawl Ephemerate. What's the final mode of this one? Reveal the top 10 cards of your library. Put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield with 3 1/1 counters on it against hexproof until your next turn, then shuffle. Alright, well that's kind of scary. Our opponent's board state is going to be massive, so we're likely going to be on chump blocking duty here. We'll be chump blocking with a first strike life gain trigger off the cloak though, and we just have to hope they don't have Deglamour interaction. So Jewel Thief was played out as well. We find Bogle for turn. That's at least an additional chump blocker. So let's go ahead, kick it off. Green, white, cloak. Oh, I've tapped my mana completely wrong. All right, I don't think we're winning this game anyway. If we Ethereal Armor, we have an additional 5 power and toughness. That's 9. We block their fatty. Gain 9 life, go to 10. Dead 2. Dead wide, yeah. So I miscounted my mana there. I thought I had access to 1 more white. My mistake. Apologies. So a reminder as well, if you do find this video entertaining or informative and want to see more videos like it, I'd appreciate a subscribe along the way. So here's the Bant Ephemerate list. I think this was pretty identical to what our opponent was doing here. So all their interaction in form of Deglamour, which we already saw in the previous turn. I guess they could also weather the storm or go for land destruction, although that would be more likely on the play. So knowing all of that, these flaring plains are pretty pointless, and I think Gutshot's pretty pointless too. Let's just revert the list to the original 60. And I'm not seeing any point to the other cards in our sideboard either. Alright, so unfortunately an unkeepable hand. We'll mulligan another unkeepable hand. Alright, so it's going to have to be a pretty good 5. This is like semi-reasonable, but we don't have permanent white mana, so that's pretty upsetting. Have to ditch 2 cards. I think it's Forest plus Bogle. We'll keep the Scout. So we keep the Lotus Petal a secret for now. All right, we find another forest, so that's not ideal. We do have to start presenting some description of a clock, though. So I'm going to go ahead and, against better judgment, cycle this Lotus Petal, play out our forest. We get an attack for 2. It's not really exciting, but 5-card hands with Lotus Petals really are, right? All right, so opponent plays out the Wild Growth on their forest. They have the ability to untap it. And they play out double Utopia Sprawl, 1 on white, 1 on blue. Opponent definitely has really good mana currently. We find an Abundant Growth, so that's pretty handy. We're still 1 land short of casting Armadillo Cloak though. And Ancestral Mask is good too. So far our draws have been very good for us, and our opponent's start has been... I mean, they are a setup deck. They are a little bit slow generally, right? This is the moneymaker turn though. That's 8 mana floating right there. So Acid Moss, that's painful. Oh god. That sets us back. So I was wrong about Acid Moss. That stayed around. On the draw, keeping Acid Moss. If we didn't stumble for land, we would have our 3 mana enchantment down on our creature and would be in such a better spot here. I guess ideal draw would be Rancor into lands. Rancor just giving us like an initial clock. Another Abundant Growth, so I guess we take the power up on the Ethereal Armor. Mana please, not mana. Steel Vigilance would be nice to keep a hold of. If we can resolve that next turn, that puts us in a decent place as well. Alright, opponent with the Goliath Paladin. Alright, so getting Island, playing it. Arbor Elf on their mana. Another big fatty here, Deglamour. Jesus Christ, man. Goes after the Abundant Growth as well, not the Ethereal Armor. Okay, just double Deglamour. Gotcha. I was going to say, I think that's better the other way around. There was no need for him to do this sorcery speed either. That could have been done instant speed. We are in a horrible spot now and likely to lose this one. Alright, so Thermocask, and that strips away our land. They've now got a 5-power, 5/8 vigilance creature with the initiative well underway. So, late to dinner. And Avenging Hunter. Well, we're going to see one more draw here. Likely we just scoop and it's game over. So we lose 5 life off of that. We lose 5 life from the attack here. And we're drawing dead to Scout. Alright, it's a bit of an unfortunate one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the game nonetheless. Hopefully next time we come up against this deck, we don't mulligan and then lose to a pretty high roll from our opponent. Hope you had a great time watching. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time.